Audacious Dutchman.
That's it. Welcome to episode 4. Today, pretty exciting. We are joined by my old friend and old business partner, Joshua Merchant, the number one jizzer. Number one jizzer. How you going, man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having
good?
me on. This is I love the introduction, and yeah, that's a fair statement.
Yeah,
I
number
agree.
one jizzer. Nah, you're like the first real guest because obviously Mon's my wife and she lives with me, so she's obliged.
Yes,
but
she has to.
Josh actually came, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, really excited. Are you familiar with the format? So we're gonna watch a couple of clips and all that sort of gear. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you told me over the phone, so
Yeah.
I'm keen to get stuck into this, and I'm excited. First proper guest. I feel honoured.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can't think of anyone better because if it fucks up, it doesn't matter.
It's not going to many people, so it doesn't matter. The first few don't matter really.
That's
So
exactly right.
I said that's the mentality. So if I was like 100th, it meant I meant something. Damn it!
That's exactly right. You don't need that much. All right, check out the
so
screen.
go
I thought
for
we'd start off with a bit of a palate cleanser, yeah?
Yep.
What's the point of us spending this money if you're not going to use it, you fucking dickheads?
Hey, boy, it's not gonna
Fuck off, you fucking idiot. Use the fucking bike track, you dumb cunt.
So he's got his Hilux on the bike lane, on the bike track, while the bikes are riding on the road, which I think is fair enough.
That's more than fair enough, and I think
Yeah.
that's a common thing. Like, don't get me wrong. So my grandparents love bike riding.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, there was a biker going up. It was in near Mount Eliza, where you do all your work, all your gardening. Just off that what's that drive?
Yeah, Marathon Drive.
Marathon Drive.
Yeah.
Goes in the middle of the road. This other car has to overtake a blind spot, like just going on the opposite side of the road. I'm like,
Yeah,
gee,
right.
what's mate? I don't understand. Yeah.
You see a lot of that.
Do you? Yeah. Do you? I mean, you'd see a lot
absolutely,
on the road.
you see a lot of it. Especially like up Oliver's Hill and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dangerous.
That's
I
a
mean,
dangerous spot.
don't know about you in the MX-5, but when you go around that bend,
Oh yeah.
you kind of hitting it with a bit of speed.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not really. Do you?
No.
I mean, you would.
Man, even in the Hilux though.
Yeah, mate.
Because I hit it with pace because it's really slow. So you sort of have to be doing 80 to be doing 55 at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. And then you got these bikes and you're in this fucking big old tub from the 90s. So it's
Hilux,
only a couple of demerit points.
That's another. That's another story. The Hilux.
No, the reason I brought this clip up though is, so Josh and I actually used to live together. And we lived together during COVID lockdown, and there wasn't much to do. So we would. Do you remember Beer of the Week?
Oh, that was.
Cycling to Beer of the Week.
You know what? We were these people, but we actually rode on the bike path.
Yeah. We rode on the bike
didn't
path.
ride
Yeah.
on the road because we were pretty intoxicated on the way back, and I think that would have been a cause for disaster. But that was some of the best times. Weirdest time in the world. COVID, like that was so weird, and then being in Packy and we would bike ride outside the 5Ks.
It was so good though. We'd
so
just
great.
get on the bike. We'd cycle from Pakenham to Berwick. How far was it? Was it 8Ks?
I don't know. We used to track it though. We used to track it religiously. I don't remember, but it would have been just under 10.
Yeah. So we'd cycle there. We'd get Beer of the Week and maybe another one.
And dumplings.
And some dumplings, and that was good. That was really good. And we'd just fucking sit there. The world was shut. Everyone was like not out, and we were just working. We were just
We
were
work.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was work.
Yeah.
This was our work. This was the only work we could
sure.
do.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was some of the fondest memories I have.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like
It was really good.
do you remember like how many times we'd sit across from the pub in Berwick and we'd be sitting there eating our dumplings, having the beer, and then a cop would drive past and we'd be like, we'd get a little bit like agitated. It was so funny.
Yeah.
But like you think about that, like how weird was it that we even, I don't know, that we got worried about little things like that? It should be like, that was fine. That was
We were
legal.
terrified. Do you remember that time?
Remember the Mornington trek?
That's what I was going to say. I moved back with my folks, so I had a joint in Packy. And during COVID, I was like, I don't want to be alone. So I just left my house vacant. I moved back with my folks because I lived on 4 acres. And I was like, I'm going to get stuck. We'll get stuck on a farm rather than a townhouse with no backyard. And Josh was living down the road at the time. So we would cycle from
we
Langwarrin.
met at like the Peninsula Link.
Yeah,
and then
Baxter
we would,
Shops.
Yeah, the Baxter
Yeah.
Shops, and then we would gun it. And we remember.
We cycled to Common Folk one day.
That was the best. I remember. You remember that photo you took of me in my mask against the Common Folk like graffiti wall that they used to have? I don't know why I thought I was cool doing that. I had the mask on and thinking I was like rebellious. No one knew that I was outside my 5Ks.
Yeah.
I can't believe we were in that though. Like so, like just stupid. But it was some of the.
It was so good, man. It was so good. I remember I was so scared at the time, and I was with my folks who are like real like into conspiracies.
Yeah.
And they were like, they're fucking tracking your phone. So like, be careful if you go on this ride. So I like literally had my phone switched off, like in my backpack, and I was like, they're tracking me. Like, this is a disaster. I don't want this.
How far can we go with this and what we disclose and what we say?
Just fucking say whatever you want. No one's watching.
No, I'm not going to
Yeah.
say. But I mean,
Man, we got like half stuck into trans people last week. Like,
all right, well, the
if we're
fake
gonna get
part-
kicked
the
off
fake-
the...
let's be real. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go. I was going to talk about the vax, the fake.
Oh, yeah. No, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk. We'll just
not
leave
go
that
there.
to people's imaginations.
You can, yeah. that
Anyway.
was- whoops.
Yeah. But, no, that was good.
That was
good.
bloody great.
Yeah.
I still we got fit. I'll be honest,
we
we
did get
got
fit.
super fit. I remember you went on a tangent of just losing all this weight. I was probably the fittest I've ever been because bike fit is different fit,
I remember I got down to 89 and I started at 110.
mate. Yeah, I remember we were like religious, and that was back. We started.
We were just getting smashed and eating dumplings.
We're getting smashed eating dumplings, and we were starting our business, and that was. I mean, that was the infancy of it. The idea came from that COVID and that lockdown. And then we were like talking. I remember we went to, where was that? What's the park? The reserve? Langwarrin Flora and Fauna. And
Oh, that
we,
was so good. Remember those walks? They were good.
They were-
Yeah, they
that
were
was-
really good.
That was where we got the gravitas. That was where that came from. And that was good fun.
That was a really good chapter in our life. So we ran a business for 2.5 years. 2.5? Two and a half, something like that. And we were real estate agents. That's how we met. And yeah, we were transacting development sites, and it was good fun. We went out on our own. It was a hard slog, and the hardest bit about that was you get paid, and you'd be like, "Fuck yeah, 18.5 grand," and then you'd be like, "Where's the next one coming from?" Oh, it's not actually signed up yet, so there might not be a next one.
That was
And
the
we
hard
had to
thing.
then you're like fucking greedy pricks, 18.5 grand. Blah, blah. It's like that lasted 6 months. We had to make that last 6 months, which when you do the math on that, it's like that's like not very good money at all. And we had business costs, and we were like reinvesting into like sending letters to people and driving out to fucking Lakes Entrance.
We were
petrol.
pretty stupid with our approach, though. And we learnt a
certainly
lot.
were.
Let's be real. So, COVID hit, and COVID lockdown stopped us a lot. But it's not the excuse that you could make. Because this is how funny we were. We would, remember when we would drive to lakes or we would drive out? So we had all these, if you're a real estate agent, you have a prospecting area. We had all these country towns because we thought we'll target all these, country towns and see, any areas in there that you could be developable. We would drive out to those sites and drop them individually. And that would be like, at any given point in time, 3 hours away. And then to Lakes Entrance, we even went and tried to door knock, and that was hilarious.
That was a fucking disaster.
But we had so much, to be honest, I learnt a lot from our mistakes.
I learned a lot from Gravitas too.
I'd say that I learnt far more, and I think you could look at it and go, we were, good at what we did. No, we were stupid. But I think we allowed the external influences in, and that was one thing that I learnt. We should have been sending letters straight away. We should have been just keeping a pipeline. It's like a tradie. You got to bank out your work for the next few months. Otherwise, how are you going to survive? And it's the same thing with real estate agents. And that's what I think a lot of people misunderstand is it is a transactional business. Just like if you're going in to do a job, it's the same sort of thing. But we were a bit naive and silly in our approach. And we wanted to be our own bosses.
21.
Let's be real. We wanted to be our own bosses. And it was good. It was and
Learned
COVID.
heaps.
What's that?
Learned heaps.
Oh, mate. Wouldn't take it. Would not have changed that
Nah.
whole process because do it again. That would be at least you'd know it.
For sure, absolutely.
But you've
So-
done that with your business, like
Yes.
your smart yards.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you've
yeah.
definitely done that and honed in on your craft. And I've definitely done that when I've gone and worked with Dad. And
Which, by the way, if you're looking for a gardener, be sure to contact Smart Yards. If you want your yard looking smart, like a hamster with a monocle, make sure to contact Smart Yards, and we will cut the fuck out of your grass.
you know what we've been doing? We've been referring you in now. It's
I
good.
know,
We
your
are-
mum texted me last night.
Yeah, we're putting you
Yeah.
on. So I'm in real estate. I'm still in real estate.
I was going
work
to say,
in a
what are you
family
doing now?
business.
Talk to us about what you're doing now. What's the
Yeah.
go?
So I'm working in a family real estate company. Work alongside Dad and Mum. It's really, really good. So Dad's been in the area, Frankston South, for 20 plus years now. So he's run multiple businesses and doing that with him. So it's
He's such a good dude. He's a funny dude, too.
Oh,
We've
he-
got to get him on the podcast.
he will be coming on. I think that's perfect for the third guest. When I think, what did you say? When Trump goes for the
We're gonna do like a special election night podcast for the US. We'll go live, I reckon.
mate, that'll be
A couple of whiskeys, and I reckon we get a little fucking mole in here as well, because your dad's very right
So-
right wing. I reckon we get a little like a left wing sort of egger honor in here, and we just fucking throw a bit of whiskey and a couple of cigars on the table and just watch what happens.
I've
It
noticed.
is a comedy special interest podcast.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you got to
That's
do.
comedy and special interest.
Mate,
Anyway.
I think, I mean, Dad's very opinionated, passionate about people, and that's one thing that he's always been, and that's why he's so good at his job. Like, we're doing our own, we're starting up our own podcast, and it's exciting because so many people, when I said that we're going to do a podcast, were like, yes, like, Juan's actually going to have his opinion, he's going to state it, and, like, he was so vocal with COVID, and he probably
He got kicked off Facebook, didn't he?
He got cancelled. He got kicked off. He got censored. He even started to post on the company page.
Which is always a good move.
Company page. I was
personal
like,
stuff.
What? So I was the social media manager whilst working at Gravitas. Like, it was, we both kind of. I transitioned in over.
You did
so
what now? Well, you're not going to like what some of the videos I've got lined up for you later.
No, but like, I don't know. It's just I respect one thing about my dad is how he won't leave his opinion to the imagination. He'll just say it as it is, and he'll put his heart on his sleeve. So yeah, I'm working alongside him and absolutely love it. It's been don't get me wrong, you work with your family, you have your challenges. I think any person does. I'm sure you could agree. You know, imagine you working alongside your family. I think.
Well, I did work with my dad. We did a project together, and it wasn't without its challenges. We weren't super close. Like it wasn't a sorry. My dad and I are super close. That's not what I'm saying, but it wasn't super involved, so it wasn't a day-to-day thing. What are you insinuating here? We're not committing incest or anything like that. Fucking hell. It's my dad.
Too many beers.
I reckon he's had half a beer.
Half a beer.
I
Play
remember
golf all day.
I remember my first can. What, did you have beers on the course, did you?
No, I didn't have any beers.
How'd you hit him?
I hit him well.
Yeah, you hit him
Hit him
well?
No,
Yeah.
no. You what we said. So you were talking about your old man and you
Family
working
business,
together.
yeah. But I mean, I've done stuff with my old man before, and I love him. Like, to this day, he's like my best mate. But fuck, we can butt heads. We moved up to Queensland a year ago now. Didn't work out because the week we got there, found out my wife was Mon was pregnant. But so we moved back. But literally the week we got there, like Dad and I remember like the tensions were building, and there was this one night where I probably had a bit too much to drink, and I was not happy with the situation. I went outside, and this is going to sound real grim, but like I set a fire, like in the backyard. Like I didn't fucking burn the house.
Oh, I thought you
but like,
genuinely
no,
meant you
in the
set the
fire
fire.
pit. I was like, fuck this, I'm going to sit out here, I'm going to have a whiskey, and I'm just going to like cool off. And Dad came out. Fuck, I nearly like fucking, he's like a good dude, so he was like,
your
he
dad-
was not drunk, and he was like, alright, calm down, and I was like, fucking, let's fucking,
Yeah, I can't.
but like we can get into it for sure, like there's been some fucking words said, but I mean, like that's what happens when you do anything close, so I can't even imagine some of the stresses that you go through working in a family business like that.
Oh yeah, I think everyone who works in a family business understands it. I think some people definitely think it's an easy route. I actually think it's a hard route.
Yeah.
I think it's easier. When I used to work Outside of the business, I think it was far easier. I think you have more challenges with your family than you do anyone else because it matters. It means more, and it's longevity, and you want a good foundation.
Yeah.
And it's set from the start, and it's like, but there's far more emotion because it means more. So it's hard to separate that, especially when you're in business. But it's great because we're in a people business.
Yeah.
We have to deal with a lot of emotion. So it's and I'm sure you're the same. You deal with too many clients to count with, and
Nah, I'm sweet with it. My clients are all real cool because the thing about gardening is it's such a low impact thing. Like people just like fucking cut the grass. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. I don't want to get involved. It's not like your insurance policy. It doesn't matter on the same level as something really, really big. So clients are not on tilt. What I've worked out is the way that people respond to a situation is in proportion with the risk of the negative outcomes. So what I mean by that, have you ever noticed that people fly off the handle on the road real easy?
yeah,
It's
very
because
true.
you're fucking driving around at 100 kilometers an hour. You're in this metal box, fucking hurtling through the fucking road at 100 kilometers an hour. So your like nervous system has gone from here to fucking right up there. So if someone even like fucking comes in your lane without indicating, you're straight away like, fucking maniac! No, I'm all good. I'm all good. Like, you're on tilt. So when it's just the grass, people are like, I don't know.
It's the grass.
Well, wasn't it like, it's the grass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I rarely have issues, but in the past when I've had issues, it's like, fuck it, go back next week. It's alright.
It's going to be okay.
Doesn't matter.
It's like your haircut.
Yeah.
Like, let's be
literally.
real. Like,
No,
I get-
haircuts are worse.
No,
Haircuts are worse.
So I've started getting, you know what's funny? I've started getting my haircut done every week. And you know, I used to give my dad so much shit about that. I don't remember. I think I used to say it. I was like, Dad, I can't believe you get your haircut every week. I've done myself an injustice putting a gobstopper in as I'm
I
talking.
know.
I
that's
just
why-
realised this. I'm
that's
trying
why
to chew
I
it. I'm
said
like,
no. Anyway.
take that out for
Yep.
a minute. But now I see why he does it. It's full discipline. Like it's
okay.
it's the habit of it. For me though, I mean, if you screw your hair and you only do it every 3 months, it's a big deal because you've got 3 months time to know that you got the next one, and that's a long time. But I get mine done every week, so every week I'm not even noticing it because I'm like, I don't care if he stuffs my hair; he'll do it next week. Not the end of the world. I don't know. That's just food for thought. It's the same thing with your gardening.
Yep.
You stuff it up. You're probably going to do it in
Correct.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter.
No, 100%.
As long as it's short enough and you didn't torch the grass and you put it on fire,
Yeah. Yep.
then you're all right.
Yeah. Look, end of the day, like, it's a bit of common sense, yeah? You lean into anything you're doing on someone's house, like, with a little bit of caution. Like, don't put the fucking mower down on lower setting and, oh, we'll see if this is the right... Maybe start a bit higher and lower it down. Like, it's common sense stuff.
No, that should be common sense with selling houses. They should start lower with the price and then you sell higher. Common
Yeah,
thing.
that was something that we talked about a lot with our clients, was always you want to be negotiating up, you don't ever want to be negotiating down, and you want heaps of people there. So if you start with
Well, you start with the lower, like what's the worst that happens, right? You put your property on the market and you have 50 groups come through. And in this market, it's definitely come back. It's declining. COVID, interest rates have made it super hard to borrow cash. I mean, you were probably borrowing, if you could borrow $1 million, you're borrowing around $650 now, the same cash rate. So it's like it's completely changed. So obviously the property prices are going to fall because of that. And if you've got a good home, you'll sell it. But if you price it really, really competitively and low in the market, you have 50 people show up and you have 5 to 10 offers. And then you negotiate them up. Like versus putting your price here and then buyers don't see value and they lowball you. Now you've got to meet them. It's like it's kind of common sense, but I don't think people see it that way. But it depends on. I mean, first things first. We used to talk about it and say, "Hey, we're not going to lock you into a price on the authority on our agreement." But I think a lot of people get, "Oh, that's glitching a little bit."
it does that.
Oh, it does that.
Yeah, it's not actually doing
jazzy
it on the
jazz.
film. It's
Cool.
so when you flip the screen round, it like reverses the image
Oh,
because
okay,
it's
cool.
backwards and it's like a bit broken. So it's just the screen on the camera. It's just the viewfinder. It's not actually the footage.
No, I just
Mon
didn't-
freaked out about it last night.
was
Too.
like,
She was
"Oh, no."
that camera's fucked. I was like, nah, it's all good.
No, what's a good camera?
Yeah.
But no, so I mean, where were we going with this one?
I don't know.
But we're talking about clients. But yeah, no, I think,
Yeah.
I mean, Andy and I have bloody known each other for
A while now.
a while. Like,
yeah.
we didn't really introduce how we met each other.
We met.
We met core projects.
Yep, we met at a firm.
which we've got some stories.
Do we?
So do you remember that time? So we went out on our own with Gravitas. We did our own
fuck
business.
me, yeah.
And
That's good.
so I guess to be fair, we had, 2.5 years of a good business, and we worked at core projects, and I worked it was very similar. So it was real estate. It was, they would sell land that was going to become developed, so into an estate. So if you look at all the ones out in, Pakenham, Clyde areas, if you're up north, you look at Mickleham, all those, and you go out towards the west. Yeah, mate, I was going to say top. That's a great idea. Sure. But I definitely, when we would do letterbox drops, you would drop, and there would be, so you're dropping farmland, right? And at the start of the actual road, you would have 10 letterboxes. This one occasion, and this business that we used to work for, they had a lot of listings and a lot of sales in the area that we decided to prospect, because we thought, you know what, we're out in Pakenham, we'll go locally, we'll target some markets that make sense and they're close by, so it saves us the time and the trek, and we can go and door knock and meet some people. We dropped this one letterbox. And apparently it was a listing by Core Projects, and we got a call from the owner. The owner goes, "Hey, I'm on the market. We've got a few offers coming in." And I've decided, you know what, because I know these guys, I used to work really closely with them, I'll give them a courtesy call and just say, "Hey, my apologies. One of your clients called me. I've said you're in good hands. I'm sure, these guys are going to do a great job for you." And then they've threatened to take us to the, what'd they say? They're going to threaten to sue us or take us to the REIV, which is Real Estate
Institute of Victoria.
Yeah. So it's like,
Which I thought was funny, because I'm not a part of the REIV. It was my license, and I didn't pay for you don't have to be a part of the REIV. It's not a governing body. It's a helper. Is that the best way of talking about it?
Yeah.
They'll help you out with issues and disputes. It's a bit like mechanics are often registered with the VACC. It's a credibility point, and it's helpful for their business.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be with the VACC.
I just found it funny that, we're two young guys. How old were we? Like
21?
Yeah, you're 21, I was
Having a
23.
crack.
We're having a crack. We're really no threat to these guys, and then we actually get a call. And I think that's when they probably started to click on that maybe we could be. And I think there was some disputes happening from a top-end level with my Uncle Damo and that business. And yeah, I mean, that's a story. But that was so
I think we
funny.
got caught in the crossfire a little bit there.
Yeah,
I think there was something broader going on, and there was a relation and a connection there.
And we got caught in it, and they went, you know what, we're going to try and funnily enough, we actually had to get Damo to sort of settle that one, which felt really, really demoralising, because we were two young guys going to have a crack thinking we can handle this on our own, and
I was a bit embarrassed having your uncle come in and fight our battle for us.
I wanted to fight it.
Fuck.
But let's be real, what were they going to sue us for?
Well, that's exactly right.
Like, we had nothing.
There was nothing there. I think they just wanted to scare us.
Yeah. Oh, but that's majority of don't get me wrong, we saw a lot in that marketplace that there were a lot of agents who weren't doing their job, and it comes back to, actually doing an ethical things and making sure you're pricing the property right. You're not getting a consortium to come back in and buy it really cheap and then on-sell it when it settles. We were actually just trying to help out the owner and do the right thing. So it was quite funny that, we got caught in that.
Ooh, I learned a dirty tactic when we were doing that game. We never did it. But I heard this tactic, what people would do, an agent would knock on your door. Yeah, you own 15 hectares, which is in a growth zone, and they'd say, "Hey, I've got an offer of $85 million. And you're like, "Oh, fuck, that's a big number."
And these guys, don't get me wrong, they're farmers. They don't know. How are you meant to determine this value? Where are you pulling it from?
And a bit of the backstory probably as well is you've probably been hit up by a whole bunch of agents by this point saying like, "Oh, we want to sell for you," and you're like trying to pick an agent, or you want them all to fuck off. Yeah. And then this one agent comes to you and says, "I have an $85 million offer," and you're like, "That's real." And they get you to sign the paperwork, and the reality is there is no offer. So what they do is they register a company, that they own, make you an offer, lock you into that offer, and then they sell the company. What a fucking dirty trick.
And they make so much money out of it. I mean, there were agents who have done that and been found out and been taken to court because of it. They still can trade and sell real estate to this day. We know who they are. But that was not like we saw that in the industry.
Name and shame.
No, we're not going to name and shame.
I'm sure it's on the news.
Oh, who it was?
Goal.
No, I'm joking. Goldbank.
Golf. Yeah, I was going to say Goldfields.
I did.
No.
Goldfields are a good, reputable business.
No, they're a developer. They're fine.
They're a developer.
We're good friends with a bloke at Goldfields. It's Gold Bank.
But then what about Mandeep? He was on the news for that too.
Was he? Is that the guy from Ray White?
Yep.
What,
No, was it Ray White? No, it wasn't Ray White. No. It was a different...
Well, he left. He went to Oliver Hume.
Is he at Oliver Hume now?
He's at Oliver Hume.
How the heck did he get there? Because he was... Anyway, that is really good news. Interesting. I mean, Oliver... Yeah. I mean, so from a reputability standpoint, I did believe that Core were probably the best in how they were ethically handling transactions of that scale, because they weren't going in there with any motivation. However, I do think Biggin and Scott are still the best at that space because they had no vested interest on the flip side.
Yeah.
They only just sold the land. They didn't try and sell the estates afterwards, and that makes more sense. If you're an owner, you're going to get a better price. Anyways, that's
sure.
Let's
cleanse the palate.
Cleanse the palate. What does that mean?
Palate. It means different video.
Different video.
We're gonna watch a video.
Mate, this is not stopping.
Yeah.
It's not a stopper.
I usually have a bin there, but I left it outside.
A bit. I hope no one heard that.
I burped into the microphone earlier.
What?
I burped into the microphone earlier. I
Yeah,
think
this
you
is
chewing a sweet will be okay. I think the listener will be okay with that.
We're all going to make it.
What's going on? I hope you're enjoying the podcast. This is a bit unfortunate, but while I was filming this episode, this camera stopped working. So the next 10 minutes of footage is missing of Josh, so you will hear his reaction and see his hands through my camera. I hope you're enjoying the podcast.
That was what just happened? What just happened?
For the people listening or watching, it was just a video of
Holy shit.
a big fella, a well-fed gentleman.
Eating shit?
He hit the ball, went for a home run, and he was like, "Oh, should I keep going?" And his coach is like, "Keep going." He's like fucking running, but like real slow. And then poor bastard puts his foot on the plate.
You know what?
And he eats fucking plates of shit.
I commend him for doing it though.
He went hard.
He went fucking hard. Like, it didn't look fast, but it probably would have been faster in real life.
House.
But like, oh, that was great.
Good, wasn't it?
That's a very good palate cleanser. Did you ever play baseball?
No, I never played baseball. I think we played, was it T-ball at school?
T-ball was the shit. Where you tee it up literally and you just get to fucking tonk it.
Yep.
Where was the skill in that? Like,
yeah.
No, actually, you know what would happen though? You go to hit it and you hit the tee that it's standing on and the ball would just plop straight down.
Yep.
That would just always happen.
Every fucking time.
But then
fail.
you'd club a few though. I don't know.
I never clubbed any of them. I was tremendously poor at sport in school. I was one of the art kids. But anyway, the reason I brought that up is you got a new podcast with Johnny.
We do.
Yeah, what are you thinking? So it's morphed a little bit, yeah. I think the first time I spoke with you, we were sort of thinking sport, and then there was something else going on. Why don't you tell the listener what are you thinking?
Yeah, so we're going to do this thing where we review sports. So, you know, the average consumer, you really look at what, the sport is like. And let's be real, how many people can actually get into that, top percentile of professional sport. There's not many. So, and the people who normally do all the reviews are, past athletes.
Yeah.
People who are really, really reputable, and you would actually probably take their advice. So what we thought was we'll kind of do this thing where we dumb it down and we kind of just rant and clip other people and sports. And then not only that, though, like actually make it really clear on what that sport is and how you play it. So we were going to do it, and we will do it. It'll be something that we'll do long term. We'll probably start with just reviewing online clips, look at the sport, really dissect it and break it down for the person on the other side, show you how you would play it, and then from there we might even go do some live examples. So get go down to the local football club, get them to show us how to kick a footy.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Yeah, so really, really we'll do that with everything. We want to do some even I'd love to learn even archery and stuff like that. Things that I'd have no idea how to play.
Oh, sweet. So you'll actually go out during the week and do a piece to camera and then put it in the podcast on Saturday night sort of thing.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's sick.
So we'll do something.
I'd watch the fuck out of that.
Yeah,
cool.
so we'll actually show show how shit we are too. Has that got something on there?
It does. It's actually okay. I learned last night. So it comes up and it says, movie recording has ended. Has something stopped automatically. And you go, oh, so that's not working anymore. But it keeps going.
Okay, well, we're good.
So you just ignore the message.
Okay, cool.
Despite the frightening message.
The frightening message
yeah,
that it
and
says.
you're like, okay, so we're not getting any footage.
No, I love it.
We're still ironing out the kinks. Very much ironing out the kinks here.
No.
This is episode 4.
Can I just state the obvious? So I've known Andy for a while, and he built up a TikTok. He did some amazing content on there, and it was very good content that you could actually apply. This suits him to a T. I actually can't wait to see when he's at episode 1000 and how far this will come. Because this
Definitely
is going to come
more fun than the real estate stuff. That's for certain.
Fuck it. Real estate stuff, it doesn't even compete. So, and that's what... So what we're going to do, though, back to the podcast that we're doing.
Ooh, slick segue.
We're going to
Look at me,
morph
he's
it.
fucking primed for it. Do you see that segue?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Gonna go. No, anyway, we're morphing it into, we're going to do some real estate stuff. So we've thought about it. So John, to give context, is my uncle. He works in real estate at a different company. And we're living together. So we're thinking, well, what better way? Let's make some funny content out of real estate agents and what we see on the ground. We see a lot. There's a lot of agents out there that list a property with a stupid price tag, meaning it's way too above what the owner's really trying to achieve, and then they don't sell it, and it's just they chase their tail, and they eventually land, and they pin it there. It's pin the donkey. It's down there. It's we're gonna take the piss out of ourselves as well, and that's sort of the mentality. So we're just going to try and build up an audience. That's sort of the thing. We're going to figure out if people actually want to watch us and see whether or not we're any good. Not even any good, just build content and learn about this. Because I don't think I don't think I'm well versed in terms of speaking to public. I think that there's...
No, fuck that. You're doing really well. You're doing tremendously.
You
hold conversation really well. There's no weird gaps or anything like that. It's good.
You know what was funny? My phone the other day, so I was thinking, I need to be better at speaking. Because, and not I don't know how to explain it. But prime example, I just said, right? And this ad comes up on Instagram, and it was if you say, you instantly lose credibility. And it's funny watching podcasts or interviewers because they never say They're just straight to the point. They think about what they're very, very selective with their words. And you watch Joe Rogan, I bet you he doesn't say a lot.
I've thought about this. You know who says a lot?
Who?
Gary Vaynerchuk. He's got a huge following. Massive.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't apply.
Massive.
If Gary V.
I think it's intent-based. I think if you're saying because you're I didn't really think about what I was going to say before I came on camera, kind of making this up. I don't have any opinions. But if you have some opinions, and maybe the situation is you're putting in.
Maybe
so
you're nervous?
I sometimes try and use as a laughter break. It's something I do subconsciously. I've noticed.
No, you're good at it though. You take time with an
say, and then he fucking looked at himself in the mirror, which is something he used to do.
all the
while
time.
we live together all
Now
the
I
time.
don't have to because
And
I have
then-
my hair cut and it looks the same, and I don't have to worry.
But
about
I'll go,
anything.
and then he fucking just stared at himself in the mirror for like 90 minutes.
Yeah, because someone would say,
I'll-
"Oh, you're looking at yourself in the mirror," and then I'd go, "Well, I'll look some more because I'll do what I want."
But I'll often use as a pause break. I don't think it's good, but I do that. It's interesting that people think you lose credibility.
I was waiting for it.
But I say,
No, it's when you
I'll
think.
often do a quick, So I'll say, people think you lose credibility, but I don't think that's the case. You know what I mean?
So I don't either. It was just this speaker. There you go. It was this speaker who
I
was
fucking
basically-
hate it when people do this thing, and we did this in school. Our English teacher, fucking bitch, she'd stand up the back of the class at speech time, and she'd go, every time you said she'd fucking count.
Wow.
And she had that dumb fucking look on her face. And she'd do that thing with her wrist.
Man, what
And you
school
just want to
did
go-
you go to? What? Bro, that's brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what school you
Yeah,
went to.
yeah,
but
you
I'm
know what
just-
school I
I'm
went
just-
to.
That's another level.
For sure. Yeah. But then, you notice it every time you say it.
No, but you know what? It's funny, and sorry to cut you short. When you put it into your mind, you say it far greater. Like, I guarantee you after this, we're going to say for the next 10 minutes, and then we'll organically fuse it out. It was literally something I saw, and I went, wow. And this guy, you know what? He was smart. Probably said, people who say need advice, and they need speech lessons, and what you should say and the tone you should say it in. And I was like, that's genius. He's like hooked me in, because I watched it. The next day, I went and did my open homes, meeting all these buyers, and guess what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with me at the moment? Like, it's not good. But yeah, so the podcast, back to it. We're gonna throw shit at the wall, see what sticks, and then we're gonna go, okay, let's do more of that. And we're gonna double down on the sporting
that.
stuff. I think that's really key, and I think people will want to see it. And my uncle and I, we're very different personalities. John's very out there, very outgoing, isn't afraid of his opinion, very rant-like. Pardon me. So it'll be very good to see how that shapes, because I think it will be really, really unique. And I don't think I've really seen it being done. I think there are people out there doing reviews of sports and, commentating sports and making fun of them. But I don't think there's anyone out there going and actually trialing them and showcasing. It's like a live version of Top Gear, but for sports.
I like
almost.
that. I
And it's-
really like that.
we're going to craft and nail down the format, but I think we're going to try and captivate and build an audience based on what we know, which is real estate. We do it 6 days a week, so it makes sense to do it. There you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. That's really good.
Just take out the mic.
So you like to say bro, yeah? You're a bro.
Yeah, I do like to say bro.
Yeah, you like to say bro.
You know what I find? You know what my dad says sometimes? Bro. He calls me bro. I
Really?
find that weird.
Do you know what my dad calls me? Dickhead. Oi, dickhead.
That makes sense, though. But you say that all the time.
Sense. Yeah, I do say that.
You say that often. Like it's something that you will
well,
often bring up.
only for you.
How many videos have you got, by the way?
4.
Okay, we can't turbo through these, can we?
Oh, do you want to? You got a head?
No, not at all. I've got plenty of time.
Oh.
I've got time and time.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I thought
don't
you sounded
have
like,
any-
fuck, I gotta go. I was
No,
like, oh,
God,
shit,
no.
nah.
No,
What do you
mate,
mean by
I've
we
got-
can't turbo through these?
Because there's only 4.
Oh, there's always more to
always
talk
more.
about. There's always
Yeah,
more.
this is
There's always more to talk about. Don't worry.
Today I'm going to show you how to use bros pronouns in sentences, so let's go! Hey, have you ever wondered who's Kale's best friend between the two of us? Well, bro's always talking about what a bad texter you are. Bro always compliments my texting. Excuse me, do you remember that one time bro...
So she's using bro in place of him. She's using it as a pronoun. Get it?
Well, why?
So her friend is called Kale, which what a fucking vegetable name that is.
That's unfortunate.
I know,
Okay.
right? She's doing a skit, and the fictional name she selected was Kale. Anyway,
Not Trevor?
we'll know what side of the bed she sleeps on. the left.
Anyway,
continue.
Yo-yo, and I taught bro right then and there. Please, you're terrible at yo-yo. But at least it was hilarious to watch bro act like you were teaching bro something useful. Ooh, you're kind of mean. This is why bro likes me better. Bro even told me bro's self.
Told you what?
Oh, hi, Kale. I was just saying that you like her more than me.
Huh? I'm sorry to break it to y'all, but I'm actually my own best friend, so yeah, this is weird.
Oh, yeah.
Plot twist.
We knew that.
Bro's a loner.
Bro is bro's own best friend. Yeah, I knew that.
Bro doesn't even care.
Bro doesn't give a
And
fuck.
please remember that I'm not a teacher. I am just a friend here to help validate you through your pronoun journey or whatever journey you're going through. And I hope you're having a wonderful rest of your day. I will see
your
you again
eyes.
tomorrow.
What do
And
you see?
that is why.
Hatred.
I see madness. I see chaos. I see chaos.
Who is this person?
Her name is... Sorry.
Can we bring up any more of her
Bullshit.
videos?
Their name is...
Her name is. Wait,
Their name. No, you can't fucking...
let's go with that.
You Are Valid is the name of their profile. Fuck, I did it again. Can I bring up any more of their videos? I actually can, because last week's episode... So we have no internet out here, so I have to save all the videos before I come out here.
Clever.
But last week's episode happened to have... I'll play this for you. You'll like this.
Because let's just play, and I'm really curious what people honestly think, and I'm happy for you to tag me in any social media posts that you might shorten and put this on, because I'm curious as to what people think of the pronouns. Like, we've talked about this briefly. What's wrong?
It's gone.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Yeah, it's gone out of the folder. That's weird.
disappeared. Didn't want to be here. Maybe Dan took it out or something.
Dan. I'm disappointed.
Dan was like, "Fuck you, Andy, fuck you."
I had it. Like, literally, we filmed last week's episode last night. It was here. I sat out here last night, and anyway, it's gone now. So, I'll give you a synopsis, though. So, she tells you how to use Lorax pronouns. And you go, I guess that's a thing. And then she's like, Lorax has, like, a nice sense of self, and, like, lots of, like, maybe a bit shy and half confident. And then she's like, literally at the end, she's like, yeah, we got this from, like, the book, Dr. Seuss, The Lorax. It's like, oh... Interesting. Like, literally.
So is she taking the piss out of it? Is that her?
So I do not think she's taking the piss.
I think she's genuinely serious.
I think she's legit. She's
Okay.
broing and loraxing and all of these things. It's a lot, though. Like, it's really a lot.
What do you think about this? I mean, you probably said it on your previous podcast. I just don't understand.
Nope, I haven't said this yet. Here's what I think. Ooh. I think that you are more than welcome to feel however you want and identify however you want. If you feel like a GJ, I might not understand it. I might make a joke out of it on a podcast. I might joke to Josh behind your back. I might even joke to your face. I might get up at an open mic and I might try and say something to make the majority of the audience laugh at your expense. The reality...
Escalated so quick.
The reality is, though, people have done that to me for other things. Yeah? That's
fair fucking enough too. Like,
that is a part of life. Yeah? That is a part of life.
bro, I had bad
Yeah?
skin. Mate, do you think that I walked around and went, oh...
How did you feel?
I felt shit about it myself, but when... Obviously, people in the room were going to go,
So if
holy
I called
shit.
you freckle face.
It would have been like, oh, I already knew this. Like, I already knew it. And it wasn't a matter of like, oh my God, like, yeah, that would have hurt. Don't get me wrong. Like, but you'd automatically walk into a room and already be judged based on your appearance. Straight away. Let's be real. Let's face the facts. You judge a book by its cover. It sounds really, really bad, but... And I think... Sorry, you can continue what you were saying.
I think it's about intent. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I personally love everyone. I was having a conversation with someone the other day about would I hire someone who is a transgender? And the answer was absolutely I would, because they were the right person for the job. If they were the wrong person for the job, I would not hire them. Yeah? So if I've got a dude who's a burly looking bloke, who's a burly looking bloke, yeah, fucking huge. I'm a gardener. I run a gardening business, yeah, huge bloke. But I think maybe he's like he smokes meth or like he does meth, yeah. Maybe I think that's the situation with him. And then I've got you as well, who maybe you're not as well built, but you have a strong work ethic. You happen to be transgender, and you maybe have a horticultural degree or something like that. You are the right person for the job, so I select you in spite of the fact that maybe you're not built as well as the big bloke doing meth.
That's actually very true. It's all
Yeah.
selective
So
on
it's
what the
intent.
choice.
It's
You're
intent
right.
based, yeah. So my advice to you is, if someone cracks a joke about you, yeah, don't get so offended that you take it to a place that's out of this world, yeah. People get picked on. I've been picked on for stuff before.
I think everyone.
I
can
used to be
say-
really fat. Yeah, people call me fat. Or like, I remember there was a kid at high school. I nearly said his name. I was going to name and shame him. Nah, fuck him. Aaron Turlack. Fuck you. He literally said to me,
Fuck you, Aaron.
When's
fuck
your
you.
when's your ultrasound? Yeah, I
What a
was.
cocksmack.
Yeah, I know, right? And I was young too. I was like 13.
hurt.
He's like, "When's your ultrasound?" Yeah, but I didn't fucking throw myself a pity party. I didn't try and change legislation. I didn't try and actually. I was gonna say I didn't try and make him feel like an asshole. I just did.
Like, no,
But
no,
you
no,
know what I
okay.
mean?
Okay,
So
that's
there's a
fair.
difference.
There's an opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion. This is the one thing that I think like we are all really cautious of, and it comes back to that. Like, it's okay to identify however you want to identify. I think if you think you're a cat, I think there's something a bit
Or a Lorax.
Rolex. I don't really know about that. Like, I do believe, like, we're religious. I mean, that's my stance.
I'm actually fine with it. If you want to be a Lorax, that's cool. But just so you know, people
you're
are
not
going to
gonna
people are going to take the piss out of you. But there are things that I do, yeah, that you might think, well, you're a dumb fuck. I love the Dixie Chicks. I love the Dixie Chicks, yeah? That's a chick country band, yeah? If you come after me, that's pretty cool, yeah? My point of view is I love all people equally, yeah? I will judge you on the strength of your character, yeah? You can identify as a Lorax, which I think is madness, but you can be a really introspective person, yeah?
Introspective Lorax.
Yeah, an introspective Lorax.
It actually, you're right. You
You know what I mean?
You are right.
I'm more
For the
interested
love of-
in the fucking fibers that make you. I don't care how you identify.
But it's when it's when the identification has to be changed for the other side. Does that make sense? Like, say for example, I'm meeting you. So you're at the cafe and you're serving me, and you're transgender or something, and I now have to try and figure out how I identify this person. Is he a he or is she a she? Or
I don't understand. I don't understand the upsetness as well. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you are a lady, sorry, how do I say this? If you are a biological woman who's recently transitioned, and no, fuck that. Yeah, you're a non-binary person, and I say, oh yeah, he's fucking before me in the line, and you go, how dare you, you cisgendered bigot. Well, I actually didn't mean anything by it. You need to get good at analysing intent. This is just my opinion. You need to get good at analysing intent. And you need to go, well, he made a mistake. He was actually being kind. What's the intent behind it? I didn't say, that's fuck wanker over there
You probably should have said that. It would have been far easier.
is before me. You know what I mean? I said he. You need to analyse intent. Choose your battles. Yeah?
Yeah, I think, and that's what I think we're creating, and that's comes back to just society. Like, I do believe, and like Trump the other week literally just said, like,
What do you say? I don't follow.
there are two genders in the world. And
Yeah,
that's
right.
all you need to say. I genuinely believe that we posterize all this stuff, and I don't think it's actually that relevant. I think it's fair enough to identify, and I think it has been, like you said, something that people have made fun of. But if you, let's talk about racism. Like you can do, you know what I mean? Like how far? Like there's so many. Like you've got to accept all people for who they are. I completely agree. But when the other side gets super angry about something you might have said, or you didn't say the correct pronoun, or some bullshit, that's just too far. I think that like people do genuinely make mistakes, but I do think that there's the doggy. But I don't think that it's okay for.
I don't even get angry when people call me James. I had a client, the other
So
day.
mean.
I work
get
on
called the
her
wrong name.
house. I work on her house fortnightly. She came up and said, "Hey James, can I get you a coffee?" Yeah, I've known her for 6 months. She doesn't know my name. I went, "Yeah, I'd love a coffee." Do you know why? Do you want to know why? And this is a broader point here, because I want her to pay the bill. I don't care what she fucking calls me, because I'm not distracted by semantics. I think life's tough. Yeah? You got to get in the fucking dirt and you got to make yours. You don't just have to earn a living today. You have to work out how to achieve escape velocity. And what I mean by escape velocity is you got to work out how to get yourself out of this system where you have to earn in order to pay a mortgage. You have to earn in order to pay an electricity bill. You have to be bigger than the system. That should be your focus. If you're focused on this one issue, I think it's a distraction for you. I'm more than happy for you to feel like a GJ, What I am confused by is the anger that you come at me as a cis dude and you tell me I'm a fucking bigot and all that sort of gear because I called you he, If you just, like, number one, move on, Number two, honestly, if you just, hey, I'm actually GJ. Oh, fuck, I'm really sorry. I'm really
fair.
sorry. But it's not that. It's hate. It's fucking videos on the internet saying, fuck you. Like,
And no,
it's such
actually, probably
aggression.
something's come to me. Maybe that's because they've had such the opposite for the entirety of their life. And as I said, like, I'm not all for one, like, you're having two genders. I'm all for whatever anyone wants to do. But I don't think, like, it's probably not okay to think you're a cat or a dog or an animal. Like, we are human beings.
It's not my business.
And
I don't care. Do whatever you want.
do whatever you want. But if I identify
Fuck
you
a
as
fridge if you want.
But if I identify you as a he or a she because you genuinely look like that, and I get it wrong, like you said,
Yep.
shouldn't come back to the amount of hate that comes back at that. It's that simple. Like,
You
it
have
doesn't
to understand
you have to
intent. You have to
overcomplicate
understand
it.
intent.
Yeah, you can't overcomplicate it, and that's what I think. One thing our
If
society.
you're standing at Starbucks and someone calls you a he,
You're gonna be like, "Oh my
like,
fucking god, you called me a
fuck
he.
you,
Fuck
you
you."
fucking knew I was GJ.
Like,
No, I
bro.
fucking just want a coffee.
just wanted the fucking
you just
coffee. Just
settle
fuck
down, please?
off.
Just settle down.
Anyway,
And that's not because you're a transgender person. It's because fucking I just want to leave now.
literally.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a tough one. But I think we're creating reasons. Like, it's like anything. I think you've got to be accepted in society. But like you said, you're always going to be picked on and judged. Is a fact of life, and it's going to either make you or it's going to break you. There's
Do you know
one
another
or
thing
two
about good
things.
comedy as well? There's no such thing as comedy without victims.
Mate, do you mean
You got to go after idiots or fat people or rude people.
all the best comics do that all the time. They pick out people in the crowd.
Absolutely.
And that's because it's first-hand comedy. And it's like, wow, that was a great joke. I didn't
Correct.
expect it. Makes sense.
Find me a joke where there's like no victim. They don't exist. So what you like? Do you want to remove laughter from the world? That's peculiar. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's sad.
I think if you're really confident in what's going on in your world, you have to be able to have a laugh at yourself. Yeah.
You can't take yourself too seriously. Yeah, I agree. I think it's important.
Like I look like a little baby trapped in an old man's body.
That's very random.
That's my face. So someone commented
You
that
don't have a baby face.
when I had that
You very
TikTok
much
when I
do.
had that TikTok video that went really well. Yeah, the top comment
Bro, I
was
just figured out who you look like.
you look like a baby trapped in a 50-year-old man.
Bro.
And I was like, that's priceless. I thought that was so good.
I got
Because
a better
it's
one.
so true. Yeah.
You look like the baby out of You know, out of that comic that oh my god, not the comic,
The cartoon.
the cartoon. Baby, what is it? You look exactly. Your face looks like the guy
I'll
who's
go
in the
with it.
suit,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's a baby, and
Yeah.
he's like professional.
Yeah.
Fuck! Someone on the comments.
Boss Baby.
Yeah, there we
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's literally you.
I actually,
That should be the cover. Boss Baby. But like, this is what I mean. Can you take we all like
pretty comfortable in myself.
Yeah, and that's what I think it comes down to. And I think it's like if someone is, like you said, if someone is a trans or whatever they identify as, they got to be confident in it. And when they're not, that's when the emotion's probably going to come out. And maybe it's because they've heard it too much or whatever it may be. Well, then, are you like? Let's be real. It's like supply and demand in the world. Like if you're super successful and rich and I'm not. But it's because I haven't nailed something where the majority wants something from me. It's that simple. It's like, why is men's football watched more than women's football?
Because there's a market.
It's supply and demand. And they go, we want equality pay. It's like,
Yeah.
but you can't
Get
pay. It's a
equality
business.
views.
It's a business. Like, your input and the output are very different compared to the... It's like...
Sport's also younger. Like
That's
if you
what I
look at
mean.
footy players in the 80s,
Were they
paid
complaining?
less than female AFL athletes now.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's because the sport hadn't arrived, because you didn't have the Michael Jordan. Yeah, we didn't have Buddy Franklin. We didn't have bastions of the sport going out there and building their following. I was listening to an interview on Your Mum's House the other day, a podcast I absolutely love, and it was Tony Hawk, and he was talking about how before he broke through, like, pro skating was a joke. Like, they were talking about the groupies, and it was like, yeah, it was just like someone's sister. Like, that was your groupie. And he was Tony Hawk, but he wasn't Tony Hawk yet because the sport wasn't there. The sport needs to get there. Anyway,
It's important. I think, but yeah, back to...
I need to pish. So I was thinking, well, let's take a break. Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll take a
Yeah,
break.
yeah.
And we'll come back and we'll watch a
good.
new video. Are you wrapped up?
Yeah. I
on
need to
that
go to
topic?
the bathroom. Yeah.
I need
I'm
to
wrapped up
pish.
on that.
I need
Yeah,
to pish.
think-
All right, we're gonna pish. That was pretty heavy. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have. I think it's some comedy, but it might actually be a bit serious. I think
Oh,
it's all
sounds
pretty
good.
serious. Anyway, we'll be back.
What's wrong?
So we got one left, and this
You got
one's
one left?
This one's a bit hard, which is a shame because we just had a pretty hard conversation. But we're just gonna do it anyway. So I will preface this by saying I'm sure. So I know for a fact that this has been passed around the internet like a beach ball at a Nickelback concert.
I haven't watched this. That's your saying.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think I stole that from TV show. Anyway, so
Never heard the TV
It's
show,
not my
so it's
saying.
yours,
I
yeah.
stole it. I know I stole it from
Just
somewhere.
run with it. It's yours.
I know my parents sent me this a couple of years ago, and then I saw it on Rogan. I've seen it on Your Mum's House. I'm sure it's been on Tim Dillon. But I thought my audience may not have seen it. So, and I thought you may not have seen it.
No,
So
I
I
haven't
thought
seen
we-
this. Whatever this is, I don't. To be honest, I do not track the internet that much. I know, I'll jump on the Instagram occasionally, and I do run a social media channel for the business that I work in, for the family business. But it's all real estate focused, and I really do not check. I watch Andy Elliott. I watch some motivational shit and some stuff that and Andrew Tate. Big believer in Andrew Tate.
You
We
like
can talk
Andrew
about it.
Tate,
We
do
can talk
you?
about that
Oh,
another time.
you know what?
We'll talk
Fuck
about
it.
that'll be the next
Nah,
thing.
we'll do it. We'll do it after this. We'll get into Tate after this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into Tate
Done,
after
done,
this.
done.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's send it. You ready? Is your soul prepared? Are your
soul's
balls
prepared.
strapped in?
My balls aren't strapped in, but we'll be
Wonderful.
alright.
Oh, they aren't?
No, not yet.
Would you like me to get a strap for your balls?
They're strapped.
If we want to defeat capitalism, we are going to need a party that will organize working people to fight for the demands that we want and to win socialism. Thank you so much.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson.
Have you ever heard that expression before?
No.
Quick point of personal privilege. What a ridiculous thing to say.
Well,
The video goes on, but I just thought I'd highlight that bit. We'll talk at the end. I just thought I'd highlight that bit.
point
So
of personal. Does that basically mean hey, I'm fucking more important here than everyone else? Let me fucking talk, guys. Quick point that I am going to make.
It doesn't not mean that. It doesn't not mean that. It's very similar to... It's just general poor parenting and entitlement manifesting itself as adults. I think that's just my opinion. Anyway, we will watch on. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Own to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade.
Can you see the people? Oh, so in the audience, they're not clapping. They're doing this to clap because they don't want to trigger people. This is what it's like at a communism meet.
But what? Yeah.
So he just said his bits and pieces. He just said, "Can we
I'm
keep
a pussy."
the chat?"
That's what he's just said.
Can we keep the chat to a minimum?
I am a bitch.
Anyway.
Sorry, I've gone too far. I've gone too far.
Can we keep the chatter to a minimum?
What is this entitlement? Where's this coming from?
He said, "Can we keep the chatter to a minimum?" Yeah?
Wait, who is this person?
He's someone from the
Does
audience
he run this whole
of the
thing?
communists. So this is a gathering of communists. Actually, this is not a joke. I'm not being funny.
Does he run this show?
No. He's in the audience. So the woman, she came up and probably shouldn't have said that. The person came on the stage. Well, they were on the stage, and she said her bits and pieces, and then old mate has come up here, and he said, "Fuck, everyone's whispering. Point of personal privilege. I'm one of the people who gets quite triggered by your whispering. So can you just sit down and shut the fuck up?" And then, after what he said, watch what happens.
Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronouns?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
What are your
How
thoughts?
do you get anything done?
What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I just don't know how you get anything done. I think that's priceless.
What are they even doing there? Like, what are they genuinely doing? Like, I genuinely sit here and I go, like, from a life standpoint,
how many
fuck are they doing?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, I know, and I'm not here to say, oh yeah, you should go and have a bunch of kids and do all this stuff. You're sitting there and beating off each other with everyone basically saying something they don't like, and then they pull each other up on it, and it's basically just a whole lot of crock of shit. Like, literally, it's going back and forth. For what? What purpose? Like, sit there and be like, we did nothing today.
My favorite bit is like, how do you get anything done? Like, let's start off by, if you're fucking whispering, honestly, end your life. And then number 2, oh my god, you went up there and said, fuck you, burn your soul.
I kind of want to go to one.
You want to go to a communism meet? I'll tell you what.
Just to say, like,
have a couple of the bloody CDs beforehand.
Just like to say that she did a great job at that conversation, and there was a lot of clapping and restlessness in the crowd, and I appreciate every human being in here. That's what I'm saying.
So you just be positive.
They would be like, oh, don't address it, there's human beings in the crowd. What are you fucking meant to say? What the fuck are you meant to say?
It's madness. It's certainly madness.
Mate, so back to, I guess, what we were saying. I have nothing wrong with anyone, how they want to identify and they want to do that. But it's like, if you tell me to treat you differently as to what we've been taught from I think we've missed. So I think the younger kids are going to feel this more than we did, which is sad.
Next week on toxic masculinity.
No. But you know what I mean? Like, I think, so it's like technology, right? We didn't really see technology. We saw it, but we didn't use it like the kids did.
No, I was
and now
about
kids,
this the other day. Yeah.
Kids are going to be on it all the time. They're also going to be taught you don't have much of a say. And not only that, you can't say much, because if you do, you're going to be a misogynist, or you're going to have some way you're either left or right. We're going to label people because we've created a society which is very separate. And it's like, I guess you could look at it and go, back when we were in, cavemen, and you go, okay, well, you had, a tribe leader. That is, I guess, the government. Mm-hmm. But like, we all kill each other or we get along and you make things work. But it's like, if everyone has to abide by that sort of speak, how are you meant to do anything? Like, you literally go into it. I'd be going into a listing presentation and going, hello, my name is They Josh.
Hey, Josh.
I would like to sell...
Quick point of personal privilege. I feel like you were raising your voice just a bit, and I'm one of those people who are triggered by hand gestures. So if you could just put your hands in your pockets, that'd be tremendous, but not too close.
That I'm touching my dick. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow.
Because I'm also triggered by my own sexuality. So if you could put your hands in your back pocket, that would be appreciated.
This is what I mean. Like, like, that's the sort of world we're creating.
I feel like it's a distraction. Honestly, I feel like
but this is what I mean. It's like over here. Like, look over here, and that brings
it's a
on
sleight of hand trick, isn't it?
Mate,
brings on. What were you gonna say? Go on.
Brings on to the Andrew Tate conversation.
Very good.
I definitely think that. Wait, what are your thoughts? I've never asked you. Can I grab some of these?
You can do whatever it is that you like.
That's criminal. Back to it. What are your thoughts on Tate? Do you watch? I don't. So I don't watch. As I said, I don't watch too much. But the last few months, I think when he was really popular, I do agree with some of the. I agree with his stance on the government and how he doesn't believe what they're doing is right.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
What are your thoughts?
That's my thoughts.
That's your thoughts.
Yeah, I think. So I'm not like huh?
These are different.
They've been sitting in a hot shed for all of summer.
Yum.
Yep, they're jelly bellies that have like kind of gone a bit secondhand. Yeah, no, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I think I agree with some of his perspectives. I think work hard, be a fucking good man, don't be a pussy. That's good. Like, that's great stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen some excerpts of like the misogyny stuff. That doesn't seem too great.
No, and I do agree with that. I think that
he probably should have just left that out.
But he was very young. Do we not make mistakes when we're young? But he was vocal.
It's a fair point.
He was very vocal about it, and he didn't think that anyone was going to watch it, just like you are right now.
Absolutely.
So what you do now,
that's
will
interesting.
determine 10 years from now.
That's very,
It'll
very
come back to bite you in
interesting.
the ass.
So
it'll come back to bite me in the ass too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just fucking...
So that's very interesting that what you've just said. So what I said earlier, I wholeheartedly believe. I've thought about it for a long time, and I've thought, we're episode 4 now. I thought, would I bring this up on the podcast? Yeah, because I'm certain in my decision-making and my thought around this one topic, so I will die on my sword for it. However, I am 26, and I do not know everything. What if... when I'm 52, when I'm 52, I have a different point of view, yeah?
Well, it's like believing in
I've
God.
got a really good one. So I had no tolerance for any of that, yeah? And this is a bit embarrassing to admit, but when I decided I was going to do this podcast, I started listening to, I thought it was all a bit of a joke, and I thought anyone who was interested in trans, anyone who identified as trans was just a bit silly. And me trying to look for material, I started researching, and I actually peeked behind the curtain, and I found that it's not the case at all. So I actually listened to a podcast by the ABC called Innies and Outies. And it's a LGBTQ plus podcast, and they have lots of stories on there. And to be honest with you, and this is just me being very raw, I was looking for material. I was looking for jokes for the podcast. I want to try and do some open mics. I was looking for jokes, and I came across this story of a chicken farmer who was born a hermaphrodite, a real hermaphrodite. Yeah, so that means he had both a vagina and a penis at birth, and they drugged him up to make him a certain gender. And now he's an 86-year-old chicken farmer, yeah? So he was born 86 years ago. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is real. This is serious. Like, this is serious. This is not just kids not getting attention. Like, there's a spectrum here where there are some people who are born with both a dick and a meow.
Yeah.
that's real. That's a thing. And then all of a sudden, you look at it like a spectrum, and you go, well, some of this is serious, yeah. And if you can have that, maybe you can have some people feeling like a man when they're a woman, because there are people born with a dick and a vagina.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
No, and it does.
And
it does
then you're
make
like,
sense.
oh, holy shit. And you start to think of it like, oh, fuck. Like, I was looking for jokes, but
You can actually
You know what I
understand
mean?
that that is a thing.
The
And
thing
it's
that I don't like is the anger associated with when someone says, fuck you, my name is not he, my name is Jay.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking just...
Well, it's the way of the treatment, I think. Like, it's like, hey, I'm expecting
like
you
a
to
Hitler
know
speech.
now. And it's like, well, hold on. Did I know something that I didn't know? No. Like, and if people who don't open their eyes up to what you did, prime example, someone who wouldn't have watched that or understood that or known that there were people who have done that, how would you know if you've never met anyone like that? Mm-hmm. You would instantly have an opinion on it, and probably not the right opinion.
Correct.
But it's like the hate on the other side. It's like, make people understand your point of view in a nice way, not just like shoving it down their throat with anger. Like, I don't see the point in it. But I think that's where, like, you watch that prime example of that video. That was all very much not hateful, but it didn't sound nice. Like, they were all
hateful.
they were
Not
very
hateful. Fucking settle down.
opposing of
Someone's
one another.
whispering, someone said he. Honestly, you're there to overthrow capitalism. You got a big fucking... You're trying to boil the ocean, and you're starting off by trying to work out the fucking colour of the trees. Focus on the ocean.
Literally. And it's like, and I think you're so right. It comes down to the intent. It's like, do you go to the shops to get food, or do you go to the shops to get money? I don't know. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, like, you got to look at your intent, and like, that seems like a very counterproductive intention.
For sure. Absolutely.
But yeah, I find it very, very odd. But what are your thoughts? So with Tate, you don't have any more videos, do you?
No, that's it.
That's it. We're done.
We're in
Right,
overtime
very
now.
good.
We're in overtime. My thoughts on Tate are, I think he's got some great points. I think some of his stuff is, like, I don't like the misogyny stuff.
No.
I don't necessarily agree with... Oh, we might have to take a break.
Yo, you're back.
She said if you're not filming. I misread the fucking message.
Well, there you go.
I know, right? How good. Yeah, that was a catastrophic misread. So I like skim read. So I get this text from Mon. I skim read. What do I read? If you're not filming, can you call me, please? Is what she said. I just read, if you're filming, can you call me, please? I'm like, fuck, this kid's like dead on the ground. And I'd run inside. Misread the fucking text. Anyway.
They're well?
He's fine. She's like, what'd she say? I'm not going to be able to get dinner ready on time. It's like, that's fine. I don't even know what on time means. Like, we don't have a fucking pre-prescribed dinner. This is not like...
That's cute, though.
Soviet China.
That's cute.
I guess so. No, my opinion on Tate is, like I said, I think he has some good points. I think he has some bad points. Are you asking what do I think about him getting arrested and all that sort of stuff?
No, just see him as just a human. Like, do you think he's good or do you think he's bad?
It'd be lovely to... So I know that he was on Your Mum's House, which is a podcast I really like. And I know that he... they said he was awesome to talk with. Like, he's such a lovely guy. Really, really good, really charming, nice guy. So what do I think of him as a guy? Having not met him through the lens of someone who I enjoy watching, who like him... I think he's great.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that there's... Yeah,
what do you
like
think
said,
of him?
Well, I think he's very good. I haven't met him. But his social media presence probably precedes him. And it definitely does because he gets...
He's the most famous person in the world.
And he gets videos used against him that he shot when he was nothing. But I think he's very, very influential for young males, especially. It's like Jordan P. Peterson. But all those guys seem to be getting shut down because they're trying to create a better society, in my opinion.
Have you got anything coming up that you want to promote?
Not really.
Not really.
The podcast will come when it comes. I'm doing one with John.
I'm G'd up. I'm G'd up for the podcast. I'm keen to have both Juan and Johnny on
Yeah, it'd be good.
separately. I think.
Oh yeah, I definitely think you won't
But
be
like
able to get them.
we'll have you and Juan on, and you and John on, and we'll just have a bit of fun.
I reckon if you get me and Dad on, that'll be great.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Me and Dad are doing like I said, an informal sort of like bring your living room sort of sales pitch to the pod, or not the podcast, but like a video format. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we want it to be a bit the same like this. What about you? Where do you want this? Where do you want this to go? Where's this?
I'm really happy with where it is now. I'd love wildest dreams. I'd love to be able to get awesome like regular guests at the moment. So my two things are, how can I build my audience from 4 till 10? That's where I'm at the moment. Yeah. And then once I go from 10, I'm going to go like, how do I get to 30? And then once I'm at 30, I'm going to go to 70. And then once I'm at 70, I'm going to be like 120. So I'm doing little jumps at the moment, but I'm not really too focused on the audience.
Where are you at the moment?
4.
4.
Like I got 4. My Spotify audience is 4 people.
That's good.
At the moment. I would love to be able to have regular guests on. Yep. So once a week, I have enough pull that I can get a guest on and have an interesting conversation with them. So whether they're a doctor, a scientist, a comedian, a civil engineer, someone working on mechatronics, someone working on maybe head chips, you know what I mean? Like brain implants or prosthetic limbs or something like that. Oh man, I'd love to get a car designer in here. Woo, that'd be cool.
I was gonna say.
And then after that, once I get to that point, I think I'll start looking to, like, how do I get someone... Now, so I would love to, like, wildest dreams are, can I make this, make enough money to, like, pay rent? And can I get my heroes on here? I'd love to get my heroes on here. Like, getting Clarkson on here. Oh, Clarkson, for sure. Like, getting Jeremy Clarkson on here. Would be insane. It would be cool to sit down with Rogan and have a conversation. I think he's definitely the daddy of podcasts for sure.
100%.
So it would be interesting to just have a conversation. He's got some great perspectives. I don't idolize him anywhere near as much as Clarkson for sure. I think Clarkson's the bee's knees. And I think maybe someone like... I'd love to talk with Gary Vee as well. I think he's pretty cool. But yeah, that's where that's sort of where I'm at the moment. Like, I will work it in tiers. At the moment, it works for me because I feel like I'm doing something for myself, which is so much fun. Like, this is so much fun. I'm happy right now. I'm like, fuck yeah, I made it. We got a podcast. We got some shitty lights going on. Some old cameras happening.
No, it's really, really cool.
But like, it's set.
Like
it's all cheap, but set well. And I'm like, this is cool. Like, it's cool. I'm happy now. You know what I mean? So everything beyond this is like just a bit more. Does that make sense?
Mate,
like, I'm happy, but like, I'm also like, how do we get this thing like rolling? How do I make this so that I don't like so it's an income, you know what I mean? How do I make it so this is my full-time job?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. What are you thinking with your podcast? Like, what do you want? What are your dreams?
I'll be honest. I taken away from this, and I'm like, oh shit, need to change the fucking format.
Okay. What are you thinking?
This style. Like, I really like the. It's weird. Like, we bought wireless mics, and they're good, but it's like it's not the same as having.
There's something funny about this, or there's something going on with this.
There's something about holding something in your mouth. Holding something close to your mouth. Like, I don't know. Like, you feel like you can like. I don't know.
I get it.
There's something about it. It's real. It's fucking here. Like, it's not like. I'm not playing a guessing game.
I got a point.
I got a point.
And guess what?
I can talk to it.
I'm going to tell you my point.
That's exactly right. And I think, just seeing this, like the whole setup, I really love how you brought in like just the snacks, the beers. Like, you made it feel really, really fun. And like the whole setup, like my
entertain your guests so they entertain your audience.
Yeah, my aim with the podcast is to bring just good value content. Things that people probably don't know, or like, because I think that there's a thing on social media where, especially in real estate and sport, you see a lot of the positives. You see so much of the, like, not the easy stuff, but like you see so much of the highlights. What do they post when, Collingwood win? The highlight reel. Mm-hmm. Post, they're posting about all, they don't post like the things where the players run out of the line or they've done like the wrong thing or like anything. Like, you kind of want to see, the wrong, right, all the indifferent, like, kind of want to bring the rawness to the market, especially in the real estate space, because I think it's like easy to go, sold, sold, just listed, sold, sold, vendor, testimonial,
legit.
Oh, fantastic. Like, it's all
100%.
great, but it's actually not like all that. And like, we know that it's actually a lot of like, there is a lot of hard work and a lot of behind the scenes, and there's, that's our job. But in today's market, I think there's a lot of things that you can bring to the forefront to people and show them, hey, this is actually how we get there. And like, these are little things to look for, these little traps not to fall into. That's what we really want to do with the real estate podcast with Dad and I. But outside of that, like, I'm keen to see how the sport one goes, because that's going to be filled with fun content. There'll be a lot of learning, and I'm excited to learn a lot about sports that I didn't know, because I like sport.
You like sport?
And I've always been pretty...
Actually, let's like have like a real
Into
raw
it.
conversation. So you enjoy sport, yeah?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my main sport, football. Like,
Would you
I
say
played
that's like
footy.
your big thing? So my thing's cars. If I could do anything I want, I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to have a comedy show about cars.
Yeah.
What's
I'd
your
say
thing?
I'd say sport.
Yep.
Like, aside, you take out work. Like, work takes up a lot, but like a hobby,
Yep.
yeah, definitely sport. You know what's funny? Hadn't watched like any football or anything lately, and I was like, even on the weekends, just haven't watched it. Because the first thing I do yesterday or last night, put the TV on. Guess what's on? Footy.
Footy.
I'm like, fuck, finals footy's on our doorstep. I'm keen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're Collingwood. You're on top of the ladder, sitting pretty nicely. I mean, there's a game at 6:10 that's going to determine whether or not
I
doggies get in.
I don't care enough.
This is what I mean. Like, I
Anymore.
don't care. I don't follow. I
COVID ruined it
support
for me.
the worst team in history, Essendon.
Yeah. Well, you guys were looking good at the start of the season, and it's the wheels have fallen off, unfortunately.
Well, Collingwood absolutely showed us the new one, and
I don't think they're
GWS
going to
showed
get
us
in
the
the
new
grand
one.
final, though.
I think
Collingwood, I mean.
you'll struggle because Dacos Nick is out. I don't know when he's back, but it'll be a struggle for you guys to pull through. But you always have a way. I don't know about you guys. You always seem to have a way, but I think the wheels have fallen off a little bit.
Yep.
In saying that, I'm unsure. I think, I just don't see Brisbane getting there.
Yep.
I think like Port might. But anyway, you with cars. What's your perfect car?
Oh,
What's the car that if you could make the car of your dreams,
at the
what are
moment,
you gonna get?
car of my dreams. That's a big one. That would take a couple of minutes. One that I'm hot on at the moment, and I'm glad you asked because we noticed that last episode I didn't mention it, and I mentioned it the first 2 episodes, and I thought it'd be fun to keep the joke rolling and mention this car every fucking episode until BMW sent me one, the M3 wagon. Now I saw one today on the road, and
That's
oh
cool.
my giddy aunt, it was so good. So good.
You
I
love
think
the
it's so
M3
cool.
wagon.
Yeah,
I want
I
the
think it's-
M3.
Yeah.
I want an
Yeah.
M3 or an M2.
Yeah.
I love. I
M2
don't know
is
something
pretty
about
cool
the coupe.
too. Yep.
Yeah, like
I like the wagon. Have you seen the wagon?
no.
No, I'll find you
It's
a photo.
kind of like it'd be like an RS3, yeah.
No, the M3 competes with the RS4,
Okay.
which is bigger. The RS3 is the hatch,
Yep.
but they also have the sedan version of it, which is like a sort of a short wheelbase, little pocket rocket style sort of sports car. Yeah,
get
they're
ya.
pretty cool. The S3 would be actually a really good car for you.
Well, I mean
think-
the
RS3 would be pretty cool too. That's
Yeah.
the fucking full fat, let's go, send mode one.
I think they're very cool cars.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're yeah. It is surprising, BMW and Audi. They do good in the sports performance modes. Those cars are pretty sick. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Like fucking let's go, yeah.
that is
It's gangster, but it's a wagon. I'm like,
It looks like
"Oh."
you're moving people, but you're moving people freaking quick.
Quickly. Yes. Yeah.
Like you definitely, but like you can use that for
I
a
like
lot
a
of
fast
things.
wagon. I don't know why. There's just something about a fast estate car that does it for me, and I don't quite know what it is because they're dorky.
It's
Yeah,
unsuspecting.
like a wagon is dorky. I think it's that sleeper element of like, oh yeah, you got a station
Sleeper
wagon,
mode.
good view, you got a station wagon. It's like, nah, fucking, this is
Smoke
a
you.
Ferrari killer.
Yeah.
Just
is
so
gonna
you're
smoke
aware,
you.
I like the RS7 wagon as well. So the RS7 is an Audi, and that is literally a Lamborghini killer. Yeah, it's quicker than Lambos, but it's a station wagon.
That's sick.
It's also a $300,000 car.
Yeah.
But I like that. It's like, there's
like-
just something about it. Something about a fast estate car just does it for me.
There's been like a lot of that lately. Like, so my mate Lockie, there's this new thing going around at gyms where you do like the sleeper mode. So you
What's
wear like long, baggy t-shirts and baggy long tops that go down to like there on your arm, and like it's meant to be like you're not suspectingly big or like ripped or shredded, and then all of a sudden it's like under the hood. What's under the hood?
Yeah, right.
And
okay.
you like take it off and you have the singlet on or whatever you have
Wow.
underneath, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. It's sort of like the same principle, but with your car. Like the RS7 would be unsuspecting. You'd be driving alongside it and go, oh yeah, like you look at the MX-5 and what we drive. You go, oh they look like little pocket rockets.
What are you driving these days?
124 Spider.
Yeah, okay, so
But
that's
then-
the Abarth, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
which
Abarth.
is like the MX-5, but it's co-opted by Abarth, which is a division of Fiat, and they put in a 1.4 turbocharged spark engine from the Abarth 595, which is the hot version of the Fiat 500, and it's a fucking bang, crackle, and pop fucking... It's like a bowl of rice bubbles
like,
that if you put them... with chili in it. They've got a bowl of rice bubbles with the Naga chili down it, because it literally... bangs,
What's funny though,
crackles, and pops.
It's not fast. Like I love it, but it's fast in the corners. It's not fast. It's a like.
But
I
it
love-
has the sensation of speed.
Oh yeah, it does, because you're so low to the ground.
Yeah.
You feel like you're going a lot faster than you are, and you're like, oh wow, I'm actually just going 80 kilometers here. Like, this isn't fast, but
I like it because you got to work it. Yeah, you got to work the gears. You got to milk the gears. If you get in a 911 turbo, yeah, it's just quick.
yeah,
It's just like, oh, okay, like this'll just do it for me.
Yeah.
Whereas that car, you have to think. You have to look at the corner and you have to go, okay, cool. What gear do I need to be in? I think I need to be in third. Okay, so I go down to third. Yeah, and you hit the apex of the corner and you go, fuck, I nailed it. This is awesome. I'm like going to fucking slingshot out of here. I'm going to be doing 110. And you just, it's rewarding for you,
hear
yeah?
it. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You definitely hear it, and it is. You know what's funny? I was going to sell it. I was going to sell it.
Have you?
I'm not selling it.
Fuck yeah!
I'm not fucking selling it.
Awesome!
I was like, so everyone around me was like, "Oh, you're gonna sell it? You're gonna sell it?" And I'm like,
You're going to buy a Kia. You told me you called me
fucking
up-
Kia
Oh,
Sorento.
I want to I want to trade in my posh sports car and get a Kia Sorento.
And you know what's funny though, and this is what.
What, are you going to leave your balls with the dealer as well?
Yeah, I guess it would have been like, you want to tickle my pussy or something? Like, what really kind of pushed me to keep it was we had like an intern come on and work a day with us at an open home and an auction.
Yep.
And he came along for the whole day, and he said, "Look," he's like, "Oh, I really like your car," and I didn't really pay
Sure,
much
yeah,
attention.
you're like, "Oh,
I
okay."
don't really pay much
You don't
attention
think
to
of it.
I don't think of it. You know, it's
You're
in
modest.
my opinion,
You're a nice guy.
it's you. Literally takes me from A to B.
Yep.
You know, yes, I drive it. And I drive it like a little go kart, and it's fun for me, and that's all it is. Like, I don't look at it and go, "Oh, it's something on the road that's meant for a statement." You see a Lamborghini, you respect a Lamborghini. I'll be
sure.
like, "Wow, it's a lot of money and a lot of wealth to put into a car."
Yeah.
What I drive, no, it's just fun. And quite frankly, like, didn't pay much attention. And then he was literally like, "Oh, I see you drive around all the time." And I hear how loud
Your
it is,
car's
and he was
branded.
like, "Yeah, my car's
Yeah.
branded as well with the family real estate business on it."
Yeah.
And it's unsuspecting. It's not like call me now and my
Yeah.
phone number. It's
Yeah.
literally just the brand name. And I didn't realize until like people actually noticed the car going around. Mm-hmm. And it is a standout car, and it was something
It's
that
really
I thought
cool.
I probably should keep because it actually is building up the brand.
It's going to be a collector's item one day too.
Yeah, and you told me that, and I was like, nah. And don't get me wrong, like, I have big aspirations. I don't want to just be on the, no one wants to. I think it's easier to make more money than it is to save more money. Like, it's going to be 10 times easier to make more, in my opinion, over the next 10 years than it will be to save it. So it's like, just keep doing what you're doing.
I would be sad to see that car go.
Yeah, no.
It's not in my car.
I would be sad.
I only see you
literally
every 2 months.
I was sitting there going, I can't do it.
Nope.
Like, I was like, I'm going to sell it and then have a Kia Sorado. The Kia Sorado is what is it going to do? Like,
well, I think the problem with those cars is you get a car like that, you make the right decision, you buy the affordable car, it's great on insurance, great on petrol, and it's great.
My car's pretty cheap. That's the thing. Like, it's cheap to run it too. Like, it's not expensive. 6 kilometres to the 100.
But you spend
6 litres, sorry.
every day thinking about the next one because you have a car that's inadequate, and you're like, next time I'm gonna get the fucking Toyota Kluger.
Dude,
time after that, I'm going to get the Land Cruiser. It's like, fucking, go and buy something
slippery
good.
slope after that.
I think there are. I think there are good cars that are affordable.
So you have the MX-5.
Yeah.
Do you? So I look at it like this. I see a Lambo on the road and I respect it. And I go, yeah, that'd be awesome to drive something like that and have something like that. But I think it's also a waste of money.
Yep.
I think it's a lot of money to spend on a car. I think there's a lot of better uses of the money, whether it go to other people or other things that actually matter, in my opinion. It might matter more to them and that might bring them far more money. Could be their real estate agent, and when they meet someone in the Lamborghini, people go, fuck, we need a list with you, just because it's a Lamborghini. But it could be, or they drive it because it's a household name and they actually just really wanted to own a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
RS7 or RS3, how much is that?
RS3.
Yep. Or RS4.
100 grand?
Yeah, or like the M3 wagon.
M3, 180 grand. Yep.
Yeah, so they're like not cheap cars.
Yep.
And that is like a dream car that you'd love to have.
Oh,
so it's like, if you could have that, it's still it's family practical, but it's a beast. And it's like, you can have the best of both worlds with that car. And it's like, I see it like, yeah, I look at, I don't know if you look at your MX-5 and go, would you buy another sports car that's just ridiculously, stupidly expensive? I don't. I look at it and I'm like, I'm actually happy with the car that I've got. I don't want another car. I don't think of another car. I don't look at a Lamborghini and go, oh my God, that's my next car. I look at like an M3, something maybe a bit more practical, but still pretty good, and go, yeah, I'd like a car like that. But outside of that, I don't think about it. I don't even actually think about it at all. But you're right. If I was to buy a Kia, I'd be sitting there.
You'd be thinking about the next one.
Seeing every other car drive past, going, I want that.
I'm glad you came to that, because you told me you were going to do it, and I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to tell you, because I don't know, I'm a bit arrogant, Like I like cars, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I don't want to.
Well, everyone.
I don't want to egg you in the direction of a passionate decision.
Well, everyone was like, you should sell it. Yeah, you'll make money. You'll make money. It's like, well, it's a fucking car. It's a liability anyway. It's fucking not going to make money. No car that I buy is going to make money. I'm actually going to have to put more money into the next thing that I buy anyway.
I'm the wrong person to talk to about cars, because I'll tell you, if it's making you happy, keep it. I was speaking to my broker the other day, and we're talking about getting a home loan, and he's like, yeah, don't get a car loan, and we'll literally have an i30N on order. And I told him about it. He's like, yeah, cancel that. Can you cancel it? And I'm like, yeah, I can. And he's like, yeah, you should cancel that because you won't be able to buy another investment property. And I was like, no, I'm gonna take delivery. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the wrong dude to talk about. That's my one weakness. Cars and beer.
Do you believe that you'll make more money though? That you'll be able to outmake the money that you would need to So I look at it like this, right? I believe in myself enough to back myself in and go, I'm going to make more money, and it won't matter. That won't matter. That's how I view it, and I've seen it.
I believe
over the last 12 months.
I believe taking the i30 over the home loan is the wrong decision, but I'm doing it anyway. Does that make sense? Sometimes.
What's the right decision?
Yeah,
the wrong decision?
Correct. So sometimes the right decision is the one that puts the smile on your face at 11 o'clock at night when you're going out to get Panadol for your wife because she's got a headache, and you get in the i30N and you turn it on and it goes,
and it contributes to the headache.
And you go, yeah, fuck, maybe I won't kill myself tomorrow. Like,
That's what I mean. Like, I think
and
life's too short,
I joke,
but
I
get-
joke,
yeah.
but like literally, I've been in dark places driving my MX-5, going, "Fuck,
Life
this
ain't that bad.
Fuck, this is cool.
Life ain't bad.
Fuck, this is cool."
I'll be honest. I don't know how many times a night don't take the roof off much. I really don't. But there are some nights, and during the summer, you drive along a windy road, beautiful road. You look up and you just take a moment to go, "Fuck, God gave us this,
Absolutely.
and I have this chance to use it, and I'm going to be a little fucking spoiled brat about it." No, I ain't. I'm going to enjoy the shit out of this. That's literally how I think. I could be wrong.
I'm on board. Absolutely. I think the car that you drive. So for me, give me any budget, and I will just find a way to have the coolest car in that budget. Like you say, $3,000. I go, okay, I'll get a Renault Clio Sport, because I know for a fact that the chassis on that is tight. It has a loud exhaust, and it's good fun. $3,000. I'll just buy a good car.
Dude.
Like, it's never about the budget. It's always about you bought the wrong car. People who buy an $85,000 Kia Sorento and have one child. You made a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
Made a
hold
mistake.
Hold that thought. I'm just going to take quickly.
You need to pick.
No, no,
Okay.
no. What are we talking about?
Kias. Buying the wrong car.
No. After that.
So
Oh,
I
you
said $3,000 budget.
Yep.
Yep.
You should sell cars. You should go and buy cars for clients. Could you imagine the experience you'd provide them with? I don't know.
I can't sell cars. I can't do that.
No, meaning like buy cars for people.
Oh,
What if
yeah.
you bought a car for someone? Say, for example, they were like, "Hey, Andy, this is my specified budget. I'll pay you X amount."
Like an advocate. I've
Yeah.
thought about it, and that's not what I want to do.
That's fair.
I want to
enough.
buy cars.
You want to buy them for
Yeah,
yourself.
I want to like fucking make a business and make a podcast and go and buy a 911.
That is more than
Yeah,
fair
I'm
enough.
too rude. So I don't know. I'd be fucking. I'd have the client on the ropes, yeah, and we'd be tossing up. So if he can pay a commission to an advocate to look for a car on my behalf, he's looking at, I don't know, let's say for the sake of the conversation, $180,000 car, yeah. And he goes,
Yeah.
look, I want something practical that I can put the dog in, and I want something that has it's comfortable, it's good, it's good on fuel, blah 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 blah. Immediately, I'd be like, okay, M3 wagon. I'd be like, oh, I was actually thinking more the Tesla model. Like, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? Honestly. And I'd launch into a discussion about why electric cars are garbage, and
why
we'd have
they're
a
shit.
fallout.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just too passionate.
No, that's
I just couldn't do it. I
couldn't do it. No, that's I completely understand. I think
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's horses for courses, but I think what you want to do,
Yeah.
like you've got your passion, you've got what you want to do. You want to buy the cars. You
Yeah.
don't want to be buying it for a client.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It is hard, but I did think like that is an avenue you could go down, and it's something that you could make a lot of money on, but it's hard at the same time. So yeah, one of those things. But
We might have to wrap up.
we'll wrap it all up.
Believe it or not.
No.
I've got the wind up from the missus.
No, that's all good.
But it's actually been really fun, man.
Mate,
It's been super good
an
fun.
absolute blast.
Have you got any thoughts? We don't have to wrap up immediately, but like we have to sort of kind of wrap up in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm grateful to be on, man.
Yeah.
Like, just pumped to be here and pumped to see the podcast, see it come to fruition, and
yeah.
and get an understanding as to what you're trying to do here. And mate, I'm just honoured to be on the podcast and enjoying. Yeah,
I'm glad you're the
it's
first
good.
guest, to be honest. Have you got anything coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Mate, if you're looking to sell a house,
Yeah.
you're in the Frankston South Market, please feel free to reach out for an appraisal. Happy to come out, sit down, have a strategy meeting with you guys, plan out what your requirements are and what you're looking to do in the future. And if we can assist, we'll be happy to. But yeah, aside from that, nothing else to plug.
Lovely.
Pretty stock standard, man. Just keen to come back on. I'm already like, fuck.
Yeah,
when
man.
can
We're
I
going to get you back on, man. Like anytime you want to come back on, let me know.
Yeah.
Come on. We do a weekly one. I want to G it up to more than weekly.
Yeah.
Ultimately. But I'm starting small weekly at the moment. So anytime you want to come back on. We'll fuck about, have a couple of beers.
Who's coming on next week?
Next week, next episode, we have Nicole coming on. She's a doula, which is kind of a birth coach.
That's cool.
And
What are you going to be learning from her? Is that for...
Yeah. So she was our birth coach, and I thought it would be cool to talk about how dudes can help support their partners when they're pregnant. So she's going to come on and give us some insight into how dudes can, help out.
No, that's awesome, man. No, I'm keen. Next, I'm keen to come on again. I'm already excited.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It's good to catch up, and we probably don't catch up enough, but this is good.
Come catch up anytime you like.
Come on and enjoy.
Yeah, no, but thank you so much for watching. This has been The Audacious Dutchman. If you've actually made it to the end, thank you so much and congratulations. This episode, like every episode, is sponsored by Smart Yards. If you want your yard to look smart, look no further, especially if you're in the Frankston area. Look no further. We will cut your grass wonderfully. It'll be good. And there was another thing I had to plug. Oh, yeah. The episodes are available 5 p.m. every Monday. There will be a new episode weekly. Good guests like Josh and Mon, and plenty of other guests coming up. If you're enjoying this, please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any feedback. Ultimately, we want to engage with the audience. So if you have any positive or negative feedback, we'd love to hear what's going on. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Peace.